Hey everyone, this is Lowell for Steelhead, and today I'm going to be giving a quick overview of our sensor dashboards feature. Sensor dashboards are useful for keeping track of where things are in your plant and how sensors are reading, such as dipping tanks or ovens, temperature, pH, and things like that. So our sensor dashboards can first be accessed through the maintenance tile. So we can click on sensor dashboards. We bring up this screen where we can create a new dashboard. So let's create a dashboard called dye pH sensors. Common application for this dashboard will be pH. Now you can see we have no members on this dashboard, so we should click into it and add sensors to our dashboard. And we're going to add three, our blue, green, and red pH dye sensors, just like this. And now you can see we've loaded in some data, and down below we can see a historical graph of that data for the last month by default. Now, the first thing to note here is the action icons for the current sensor values. This icon will bring up the measurement history for each sensor, in this case blue dye. We can see all of the past values, who created them, when they were created, when they were effective, and even edit those measurements. We can show the parameterization information for this sensor, so spec field params that refer to this sensor type. And here we can see that blue dye spec was in spec at 5.31 in between our minimum and maximum values. And this measurement is valid because it was measured 1 hour ago, and the valid duration is 12 hours. These measurements on green and red dye are out of spec. This one is low, 4.9, and this one is high, 4.51. Note that the status of this is still invalid, even though the measurement was taken recent enough because the measurement was out of spec. To solve this being out of spec, we can go here to the Create New Measurement option and create a measurement for this sensor at 5.3 pH, and like that, our sensor now has a valid status. If we go back to the sensor dashboards page, we'll see that it only has one alert on the sensor. If we click in, we'll see that it's the sensor being out of spec. You can see our newest value updated, but now we have two values really close together. So if we wanted to change this second to last measurement, we can go into green dye to the measurement history and edit this measurement to change the date and save, and now the measurement will automatically update down below. One additional feature of sensor dashboards is spec param warnings. Let's suppose you want to see when your sensor is about to go invalid, i.e. about to reach the valid duration for the measurement and need to be remeasured. Well, now with this update, you can go into the spec field param by clicking on that link there. And on the spec field param, we can edit and set our sensor warning threshold. In this case, I'll use 1 sec for example so that it shows up right away, and hit save. You can see that our sensor warning threshold is now populated. And if we refresh, we can see that this sensor is now warned because it has exceeded the warning threshold set on the spec field param blue pH. And so the measurement now has a warning. And if we go to the sensor dashboards page, we'll see that the warnings and alerts show up separately. That was a quick overview of the sensor dashboards feature in Steelhead, covering statuses, alerts, creating measurements, and graphing your values over time. Hope this helps.